A retired accountant from Nova Scotia who became an avid hiker now makes numerous trips here to the Adirondacks and to the White Mountains of New Hampshire, where he records his adventures to share on his popular YouTube channel. Mark Winfield is also an author whose latest book is a novel about a mysterious ancient discovery unearthed during an archaeological dig in the far northern reaches of Canada. And we're happy to be joined by Mark Winfield, an author from Nova Scotia who has ties here to the Adirondacks and Plattsburgh. Welcome. It's nice to have you here with us.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
You are an avid hiker. You're a member of the Adirondack Mountain Club.
Yes, I am.
And a 46er.
No, I'm working on it slowly. I'm also working on a 48er in New Hampshire slowly. But
the White Mountains?
Yes, there's a lot of mountains to climb.
But you travel all over the world hiking.
I'm fortunate to be able to do that, yes.
And we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that. But let's talk first about your new book. You've written 3. This is book number 3 for you. You've written about how to choose an investment advisor wisely. And then your second book, also a how-to book on volunteering.
Yeah, I'm a very big community supporter. And I'm very involved with United Way. And the second book was how to find a volunteer activity for yourself. And all of the money from that goes to United Way, by the way.
So how did you start on the third book, your first novel, first fictional?
Well, that started about 12 or so years ago. So back then, I had this idea of a book with these 2 characters. And the concept at that time was that I would have a woman from the south, you know, where we live, the south, in the main part of the continent, go up north to Great Bear Lake, which is in the Arctic Circle, a huge lake, very sparsely populated, and meet a person, and they would explore the world together. And then one day, I'd written a lot at that point, and I realized that what I was writing in my mind was not on the page. So I put it aside. And then it probably sat, on the shelf for 8 or 10 years. And I'm not sure whether it was COVID or something else, but I picked it up again. And I had a whole new story. So what we have is we have 2 main characters. One of the characters is Erin, who's a young woman in archaeology school at the University of Toronto. And she, together with 2 other students and one of their professors, go to spend the summer at Great Bear Lake to excavate a site that's a suspected Dene First Nations village site from days gone by, a lost village kind of thing. And they discover something unexpected, quite unexpected, so much so that they have to keep it secret. And she befriends this fellow who is a guide at the lodge. He starts sharing information with her that she has to keep secret as well. So she has 2 secrets to keep, and part of the story is about keeping of secrets and the burden of that. Henry and Erin, Henry is the guide, become friends, and they become allies in this quest to find out what their secrets are all about. And if I go much further, I start sharing this story.
A little too much. And I can imagine in this day and age with social media, it can be difficult to keep secrets.
Well, and I touch on that quite a bit because one of the characters has trouble with secrets, and he's a social media kind of guy. And also the way the world is, okay, when something happens or something goes on or something is found, the world expects the whole story right there. And what they've found, they don't know what it is. So part of the story is about the secrets, but part of the story is about the truth and keeping the truth. And that follows into the storyline of fake news and conspiracy theories, because they find something, they're honest about it, they don't know what it is, and they say they don't know what it is. But the world makes up the answer. And so part of the story is the fight against that.
And the discovery does get worldwide attention.
Yes, it does.
Including from television stations in the United States who
And what happens along the way, and the reason I'm here with you is because your station in particular is something of a hero in the book. And what happens is that as this secret becomes known, okay, the group quite honestly share in an amateur basis the secret, okay? And that's part of what they're about, is protecting the truth of the secret. The reason I chose your station was because, of course, I'm familiar with the area and so on. Plus, you got a neat address here, Sesame Street, which kind of fits. And but you're independent, like all of the other news outlets that occur in my book are like CBC, which has a commercial component, a government component. NBC, CBS, and all the others, Fox, whatever, they're all commercial stations. And your station served an excellent role. It's almost like it was a character of its own in the book, because they were an unbiased source of news. And so they, through the characters that I created, were a great information provider to the world, and were respected where others would not have been. And so part of the story is fighting against, fake news and conspiracy theories and all this. And that was, they succeed somewhat in the end. They also fail somewhat in the end, it's, inevitably.
Is it a cliffhanger? Will there have to be a sequel?
Yes, absolutely. Reading the book to the end, you have to read it to the end to find out what the secret is, what it is. And there is a sequel, and I've actually started it. Okay, so I have, I guess, about 6 chapters written, and I have to, interestingly, this story I discovered as I wrote it. I had a general idea of vaguely what I was going to do, but I really did discover it as I wrote it. But because of the story, the sequel, I have to decide where I'm going to land in the end of that. Even though I might not know what's going to happen in the middle, I have to know my landing place at the end. And so far I've got 4 different landing places, and I haven't decided which one I like the best. So but that'll come together. But I'm working on that now. It's fun.
And you do have family here in the Plattsburgh area. You have a number of ties here to the
Yes,
Plattsburgh area.
Our son moved here ultimately in 2016. He's a family physician and was part of the first class of the family medicine residency here.
So your son and grandchildren are here in the
Yes.
Plattsburgh area. You also love to hike here in the Adirondacks. You have a YouTube channel dedicated to hiking, and on there a number of hikes in the Adirondacks that you've included.
That's right. I have my hiking channel, Hiking Adventures with Mark Winfield. I have approximately 135 videos up there. And you'll look at the playlists, and there is a playlist for the Adirondacks, and I can't tell you how many there are there, but I'm guessing there's at least 10 that are there, though I've done more than 10 hikes here.
The Stones of Great Bear Lake, available online almost everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. Anywhere you would buy books online, you would find my book.
Mark Winfield, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.